Welcome to the Focused and Fearless podcast, the show designed to explore how you can step into powerful self-leadership and stop settling for less in your life, business, health, and wealth. I'm your host, Heather Angel, and as a certified energy practitioner, coach, and online business consultant with over a decade of experience, you can expect expansive, honest, and enlightening conversations about what it really takes to create the changes in your life and business that right now may just feel completely out of reach. Thank you for choosing to invest in yourself by listening to this episode. Without further ado, let's dive in. Hello, beautiful. Welcome to another episode. Today's episode really was inspired by a conversation I had in the mastermind I'm part of earlier this week, because I have noticed a pattern. And whenever I notice something in my own life or in my own business, I'm like, oh, I wonder if you guys would resonate with this, or actually if I've made a mistake or I've had a realization, I wonder if I could help you overcome that yourself, or maybe recognize this in yourself. That's really the main reason I love doing these solo episodes. I'm like, I really messed up there. I wonder if I can help people not do that. So in this mastermind, we were having this conversation, and I'd done a lot of reflecting over the last couple of weeks. I'm recording this just after the full moon eclipse in Scorpio. And honestly, my loves, the last 2 weeks between these eclipses has, my God, it's tested me. It really has tested me. I'm very sensitive to different energies, and Christ alive, it's been one. It's been challenging. Maybe that's for another episode to sort of go into those challenges. But one of the patterns I really realized is how much the coach you work with and the people you surround yourself with matters when you are running a business. And obviously, I mean, you've heard that before, but the pattern I noticed is that I wouldn't just try and emulate coaches. I would try and be them. So to give you context to this, when I started my coaching business in 2016, I also had a wedding planning company. Now, the coaching business took off really quickly. I had no social media presence, no website, but I had a lot of contacts who saw the success I was making of my wedding planning business and basically were like, how do I do that? So I had loads of clients very, very quickly, and it was brilliant. But in beginning of 2017, I realized, I was like, oh my gosh, I am struggling to manage 2 businesses, 2 children, both at home. This is ridiculous. I'm feeling really scattered. I need structure. And as the universe works, or, Facebook algorithm, lo and behold, I see an ad for this program called 90 Day Year, which is created by Todd Herman. I'm presuming it's still around. And it was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. I'd never invested that much in an online course before. I think it was like $3,000 or something like that. But it was exactly what I needed at the time. However, what that then turned into is, productivity. I've loved doing this. This is really great. And people really struggle with being productive and time management and stuff. I'll help people with that. So I very rapidly became known as a productivity girl, because that's where I was helping people. And it served me really well. I built my business. That was the foundation of my business for quite some time. And actually, that was the foundation of my Focused and Fearless membership when I set it up, was helping people stay accountable, stay focused, and stay productive. However, I then started working with a coach who sort of dealt with launches and digital products. So I then shifted to thinking, well, that's where I need to do. That's what I need to do. That's where I need to focus my attention. I need to create lots of digital products. I need to create online courses. I need to be really good at launches. And the reason I'm sharing this is because I then started pivoting my business, pivoting my messaging, not because I had a true desire to do so. I just really liked this coach that I was working with. And she wasn't really a coach. She was a specialist in her field, but sort of I really liked working with her. And I thought, she's created success doing this. I can create success doing this. I'm being very open and honest with you, as I always am on this thing, because it's quite embarrassing when I look back. I'm like, God, I was such a fangirl. And I don't know whether you've done the same, whether you've worked with a coach or a mentor, or you've followed someone on Instagram maybe, and you're like, oh my God, they're so amazing. I want to be like them. And I totally did that with this coach. It's so funny looking back because I'm just not in that place anymore. And I've done it with other coaches as well. Other coaches I hired, I also fell into that trap of thinking, well, if I pay what at the time was, a huge amount of money to work with this coach. I worked with another coach privately, and, she was very much seen, or I certainly had the perception that she was seen as, a top coach. And, her rates were high for what I was used to paying. So I thought, right, well, if I invest in that, then that proves that I'm really serious about my business. And I also bought into the bullshit belief that you can't charge more than you've ever paid. So as a coach, I wasn't ever going to be able to charge, $1,000 a month if I didn't hire a coach for $1,000 a month. I call total BS on that. And that's a story for another episode, another topic to dive into, but that's nonsense. But I fell into that. And again, she had certain modalities, certain ways about her. I thought, right, that's how I need to be. And I continued this process on and on and on. And honestly, my lovelies, at one point, I spent the best part of $4,000 on a course and extra coaching to ultimately figure out how to send a survey. I shit you not, that is exactly what I did. And the reason I did that, I purchased this program, was because I wanted to prove to the coach that I was with, who was an affiliate for this program, I wanted to prove that I was serious about my business. I wanted to prove that I will do whatever it takes to be the best, to take my business forward, to make the money that I know I'm capable of. And the problem with this is, you can probably see the problem. I'm doing that from a place of trying to prove someone else my worth. I had so little self-worth at that point, and I didn't realize this, obviously. This is all the joys of hindsight and growth. I had so little, I wasn't connected with my own self-identity. That's really what it was. I didn't know who the hell I was as a woman, as a coach. I was a relatively new mum at that point, and I was like, I don't know who the hell I am. So do you know what? I'll try and be you. I'll try and emulate what you guys keep telling me I need to do. That's what I'll do. And it's just the worst place to go from. You are never, if this is resonating with you and you're like, yeah, I've done that. Oh my gosh, honestly, I just want to give you a hug because I've done it and it's awful. It doesn't serve you. Well, do you know what? That phrase bugs me sometimes when we say I don't. It did serve me. It has given me valuable lessons. It was a freaking expensive lesson, but the lessons are there. I will never, ever purchase a program or course or hire a coach from that place ever again. Never will. That was a big, big lesson for me. And as I've gone on over the years, I have really stepped back from that. And I do buy courses. I invest in myself. I've actually just invested another few grand into modality energetics training because I want to. I desire to, because I think it's amazing. And if I can help people in a way that really lights me up, then that's what I'm going to do. So yes, I still invest in things, and this is not to shame you in like, oh, look at the amount of money you spent on all these courses that did diddly squat for you, because we've all got those. We've all got products on our laptops gathering digital dust right now that we're like, oh, that would be a good idea. And we either never do it or we went through it and went, oh, actually, that was pointless. And I'm laughing because I find it funny because I have to laugh at these ridiculous choices I've made sometimes. And hopefully you can laugh at yourself as well. But where I want you to be aware of is, who are you idolizing at the moment? Who are you following? Who are you trying to replicate? Because I see this all the time. There are people out there on Instagram that are hugely famous. There are so many entrepreneurs, influencers that are the celebrities of our time. When I was a kid, celebrities were movie stars and stuff. And then we went into the whole Big Brother world of just randoms who want fame, and they were celebrities. But, you know, in our world, business people have become celebrities, and we fall into that trap of going, oh my God, that's what I want. That's how I want to be. And I just want you to be aware of where you're coming from. Where is that energy coming from? Is it from you're not good enough, you need to be like that person? Or is it from hey, they've got some good ideas. I could have a look at that idea, take that idea and think, right, how could I use that in my life, in my business, in my world, so that it actually lights me up, so that it works for me? It's very unlikely to be a carbon copy. You know, Steve Bartlett he's absolutely incredible. He's on Dragon's Den here in the UK, and he has his own podcast, Diary of the Digital CEO. I think he's amazing. Do I want to create the same things as him? No. Also, you know, I'm a woman of 40, and I listen to some of his episodes and I'm like, bless, give him another 10 years and the wisdom will come. Because, you know, he's a young guy with incredible, huge success. Do I admire him? Of course. Do I want to be him? Absolutely not. But the difficulty is it's very hard for us to sometimes see those patterns. So the reason this came about is I was in this mastermind working in this group, and I realized for the first time I am working with a coach who I started working with back in 2020. It is the first time that I have worked with someone and not felt like, oh, she's doing that, I should do that. Or, oh, she runs her business in this way, I should do it that way. There are no shoulds left within me in how I need to run my business. And I wish I could fully express how incredible that feels. My coach is amazing on social media. I think she's even got a TikTok now. And I'm like, yay, awesome. That ain't for me. I have no desire to be on TikTok at all. She runs a Facebook group. I know there is great power in Facebook groups. I don't want one. Not happening. Don't want to do it. So I'm not going to. It doesn't fit with the business and the life that I am creating. The legacy I want to leave doesn't involve having Facebook groups. It just doesn't. So for the first time ever, I am creating from within my soul. The messages I am sharing, the program I am creating, the projects I am working on, they're mine. They are 100% mine. They're coming from me. It's my truth. It's my way of expressing it. And yes, of course, I have years and years of knowledge that I have obtained. You know, I could still talk you through an online launch. I can still show you how to create memberships, how to create courses. I can teach you a ton of stuff. Like, my noggin is full of like loads of knowledge about the online world and how to create a business. And I still love talking about that stuff. But my bigger passions, where I want to create from, and the business and lifestyle I want to create from, is finally coming from me, not coming from trying to emulate the coach I'm working with or the program I'm in. So I invite you to explore if this is a pattern that you have also repeated. Have you spent hours on all the different social media platforms because you've been told that's what you need to do? Have you worked with a marketing expert that has told you must have a YouTube channel and that's the way you're going to grow your business, and you hate everything about it, but you're doing it because they said that that's what you should do? Are you creating a business that actually feels heavy, that makes you feel icky every time you go to do something? Is this a business that you love, that you are creating through you? Or are you purely trying to replicate the success of someone else? Because I'm telling you, my darling, you've probably tried this already. There's no such thing. I do not believe there is a blueprint for success. That's bollocks. It's not as simple. Let's face it. Come on. You know this. I'm kind of preaching to the, what's that phrase? Preaching to the choir. You know this to your core. There is no blueprint for success, because if that was the case, if all we had to do was follow a load of steps, we'd all be bloody millionaires right now. there would be no need for strive and struggle and and people to have all these courses, because you'd be like, oh, it's okay, there's just this one blueprint, and if you follow it, everything will be fine and you'll be a millionaire within 6 months. Business can be simple. It's rarely easy, but even as I say that, a little part of me is like, but actually when you're doing what you love and you are not questioning yourself and you're doing it from a place of joy and you are so truly aligned with what you're working on, it is easy. I find what I'm creating now so easy, and I don't think I've ever found that before. What I'm creating and what I'm launching, I'm not making publicly available. I'm not talking about it publicly yet because it's still in my heart. It's still in the creation process. There's many Trello board going on right now. There's projects going on, but I'm so excited about it. And even, I really want to convey this. I really want you to get the message. Yes, I'm excited about it. And you may have things that you're excited about, but equally there's this level of neutrality about it as well. It just is when you are in that place of creating from you, there is almost that sense of, well, yeah, obviously this is who I am. This is the message I was put on this earth to share. This is what I'm here to do. This is how I am going to be serving. It's not how your coach serves necessarily. It's not how your mentor does it. You don't have to have a book. You don't have to have an online course. You don't have to have a membership. You don't have to have a Facebook group. All the things. You can have all of those things if you want. If that truly lights you up and if that's going to grow your business, do it. But it has to come from you. So to round up this episode, it really is, the thing I want you to take away from it the most is be really mindful, firstly, of the coaches, mentors, people you follow. Be really mindful of who they are, especially the coach you hire. Very, very important, because I do get a bit of a bee in my bonnet about marketers, trainers, consultants saying that they have programs where they have group coaching calls. Very rarely are those calls coaching calls. I have only ever been part of one program that actually provided coaching calls, and that was Business by Design, because James coaches. It wasn't a Q&A, it was coaching. He will absolutely call people out on stuff and ask deep questions. Most of the time when you go into a program, they'll say it'll be a group coaching call. It's basically a Q&A. And then that marketer, that trainer, that consultant, whoever they are, will give you their opinion or they will share their experience and they will give you the answer, basically. And there's nothing wrong with that at all, but it's not coaching. Be very, very aware of what coaching is if you're about to hire a coach or, look into that for yourself, because a coach helps you find your way. If you worked with me as a client, I am not going to say, oh, well, I did this, so you should do this. Or this will work for you. Go and set up this. I will find out what makes you tick, what actually you desire to do, and help you find your own way, because it's your life. It's your business. You may not want to or even aspire to have the same things that I want and aspire to. So always be mindful when you are looking into working with a coach or a mentor, and they are two different things, or who you're following on Instagram. Just make sure that actually you're feeling empowered when you do so, and it's not from a place of they've got the answer. They've got the answer, so I'll work with them. Or if I invest this big chunk of money, then that makes me worthy. Then that makes me a good person because I'm doing the right thing for my business. Just be really, really mindful of it, my love, because if you try and emulate, if you try and basically be a carbon copy of someone because they've reached success, you're going to struggle and your business is not going to succeed to the level you want. Okay, so that's my message to you. A little bit of an embarrassing revelation for me to be like, oh yeah, I was just trying to be like everybody else. But no more, no more. And you know what? Just to finally round up, I didn't do any healing work on this. When I realized the pattern, I didn't decide to do a load of journaling and a load of energy work and all this kind of stuff, which, is amazing. But I just looked at the pattern and went, no, I'm not going to repeat this anymore. That's it. It's done. And it was just a decision. The power of making that decision there and then, I'm like, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. I know who I am. I know what I want. And I know where I'm going. So yeah, it's very exciting times over here in Heather Angel HQ. So yes, I hope that helps you. I hope it sort of allows you to look back and kind of go, okay, yeah, Heather's done this. I've done this. It's fine. But we can make a decision to only purchase courses and programs from a place of desire, because we're always learning. It's always a good thing. But do so from a place of desire, not from a place of, I need this thing and then I'll be whole, or I need this thing and then I'll be good enough to do this, or I need to work with this coach so that I can prove that I can invest, 10 grand in a mastermind, because then that makes me proper. That makes me a good business person. It's all just nonsense that your ego is telling you, my love. So think carefully, feel into any coaches that you hire, think carefully and feel into any programs that you purchase, and remember that you are who your audience are waiting for. Your message, the way you deliver it, is what is needed right now. Okay, gorgeous. I will see you in the next episode. Have an amazing week. Thank you for joining me today, and remember, any resources and links mentioned in this episode can be found in the show notes. If you're enjoying this podcast, I would be so grateful if you would kindly share, subscribe, and leave a positive review so that the podcast can help and reach as many people as possible. Thank you again for listening. Have a gorgeous day, and I'll see you in the next episode.